You're tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's The Christmas 24/7 channel, keeping the spirit of Christmas 24/7. Give, forgive, be merry.
What would happen if we all tried to be like Santa and learned to give, as only he can give, of ourselves, our talents, our love, and our hearts? Maybe if we could all learn Santa's beautiful lesson, maybe there would finally be peace on earth.
Finally.
And goodwill toward man.
If only we could learn Santa's lesson. Jeff Graham. It's Monday. This is it. This is the last day. This is January 6th, the Advent calendar. As you said today, close. I'm Keven Undergaro. This is the 6 months of Christmas. I'm with Jeff Graham, a.k.a. Jeff Scam, in the booth. I have a little elf friend of mine named Mackenzie, who's been with AfterBuzz for almost a decade.
Mackenzie, we're proud of you. I don't know, make sure you're patched in before we call to you, but nice job on that intro, Mackenzie. That was good.
Thank you. I tried.
It was excellent. Yes, we've been training our little elves back there, and she did excellent.
You know, and I will just give a brief shout out that Mackenzie's a very 2000s Christmas that she was doing with Haley. They did a test show. It was amazing, but in true Gen Z millennial fashion, they then just dropped the ball. Stopped making the show.
How do you respond, Mackenzie?
My elf from Boston didn't come back to the North Pole.
Okay. Now, are we gonna maybe next year be ready?
We're ready. We gotta really do this ahead of time because it's Christmas all year round. We all know that.
I think. Well, you know what you do. You're like Jeff, Mackenzie, where you keep the Christmas. You keep Christmas in your heart on a daily basis. Jeff Graham, please just talk to me. This is
Kev. I will say, a wonderful, wonderful Christmas break. We get a very generous little vacation here at AfterBuzz, and that's actually common with Los Angeles in general.
Yeah.
It's the one, even the Scroogiest.
It's getting shorter, though.
Is it?
Yes, I'm noticing. It used to, but oh my God, it was 20 years ago. Try being an agent in LA.
Yeah.
Like, their lives were so easy. It'd be like, yeah, you know, it started October 14th. You know, nothing's really happening. Things are winding down with the holidays. And then January 14th is a pickup. So imagine like getting paid 10% from every like huge client and literally doing nothing. And that's how it used to be. And then because of phones and interconnectivity, and now it's I'm noticing it really is only a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
you can't hide as much as you used to.
That still feels, to me, that feels long, but I know.
Right, for you, because you're not trying to hide from work. You're actually trying to do the work. For people like me doing the work, it seems like it was forever.
I bet. It was you were losing your mind.
Yeah.
But it was a really wonderful. I flew back to Indiana. Yep. Very idyllic. Flew back, landed to a snow-filled cornfield. The Indiana airport. It was perfect. My father-in-law is the best. He always, when he picks me up from the airport, has a beer on ice ready to give. It's just the best.
Jeff.
So he's like, Jeff and Laura, I got you a beer in the car, Jeff. And we get in the car, go back, homemade poppy seed bread ready to go. And what's fun is Laura's that's my wife. Her older sister just had a little girl. So there's this little tiny infant. We're just passing around by the fire, talking about our holidays. Pretty perfect.
And that was how many days before New Year's? Christmas Eve. Excuse me.
I had a 2-part Christmas vacation. Part 1, nesting in the home with the in-laws. Part 2, Christmas cruise. It was pretty great.
Wait, stop.
Yes.
Jeff, all right, so take me, how are you Christmas Eve landing to the in-laws'
No, we
house?
flew in pretty early because I actually missed, I took that Friday off.
That's right. So I like the 3 or 4 days you get before.
Absolutely.
I don't like to get there Christmas Eve.
No, because you need to get prepped, and if you have last minute gift stuff.
Yeah, by the way, isn't last minute gift shopping fun, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm usually
you're not
prepped
all
in
in on
advance.
that?
I usually have everything ready before the last minute.
Okay, let me rephrase. It's more about optional last minute gifts.
Exactly.
That's when
Bonus
it's fun.
gifts.
Right, because you know you've got it done, and now you go, you know what? I'm feeling good this year. I want to get a little extra something.
Cherry
for
on top.
Mackenzie, you in the booth. For you, do you like the last minute Christmas shopping, or is it just stress you out?
I mean, I like to last minute Christmas shop, but I don't think I ever really. I try not to let myself go there. I try to get it all done
Yeah.
But I always have to. I always have to do my dad last because
But you guys, isn't it fun to go to the malls then? When
It is.
I guess when you have to, it's not fun. Now you're in lines, but when you're just there, you just see the energy and the lights and the music. I don't know. I'm a big fan of it.
You know what's interesting, though, I will say? Something weird happens in the 3 days before Christmas in Indianapolis, and that's the LA angry bustle energy kind of creeps into the Midwest, which I know. So specifically, it's one mall in Carmel, Indiana. And I think it's people don't understand traffic. They're not used to that. So I feel like in LA, tell me if you disagree, traffic is bad, but people are generally courteous because we're all in this together. If you need to get in a lane,
we're all screwed.
Whereas in Indiana, they're not used to this. So
Yes.
I saw some road rage.
Oh my God.
But once we were in the mall, it was good. But people in Indiana aren't used to
They're
the
not
traffic.
used to it.
So it brings out the worst.
And
in
you
those-
know what? For
yeah,
the few of us who stay in LA, it's a flip.
I know. It's
Everyone gets nice.
tumbleweeds, right?
Yeah, no, and people are just a little nicer.
Yeah, I bet.
I will say my favorite thing about Christmas shopping right close to Christmas is they have all those displays out. So it's buy 3 for $10
Yeah.
throw
Right.
blankets. Like
Although-
so I always get into that.
I tell you guys, it's getting increasingly depressing because as much as we have been moving the start line to Christmas, we are the 6 months of Christmas. So, our goal is to see this be brought back to August.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm noticing that the finish line in stores, 2 days before Christmas, I'm sorry, Home Depot and Target, all the Christmas trees are packed away.
Oof, too soon.
And I'm like, I always go back to, I'm the drunken father who's not been there for my kids. And this is the year that I'm going to save Christmas. And I'm going to surprise them and put together the makeshift Christmas. And it's Christmas Eve. And I go to my Home Depot and there's no tree.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
brutal.
how do I save Christmas, Jeff, when I'm the drunken father who's not been there all those Christmases? But this is the one year that I found the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future.
It's too late.
Right? And I'm going to my Home Depot to get my tree, to have my last minute to save Christmas. And now it's not there. So I'm a little down on those places.
Yeah, we need to open a just 2 days open a year store for all the drunk fathers. And that'll be
Wait, and we're
Kevin
woke,
and
we're
Jeff's
woke
Drunk Dad
here.
Emporium.
We're woke here. The drunk mothers.
and the drunk moms. You're right.
There's a lot of drunk moms
drunk
out there.
stepmoms especially.
They just needed to see the ghost of Christmas
Kevin
past.
and Jeff's Drunk Stepmom Christmas Emporium open 2 days a year,
just for them.
23 and 24,
So
and 25.
So the big line we are always throwing around the house is like, I feel like we're not going to be able to save Christmas. It just that always comes up, and I feel like this year it got scary.
Why, Kevin?
This was the most in advance. Like we were doing this show, and like I put the tree up the day after Halloween, and blah blah blah, and yet we were just so overwhelmed with life that Maria and I didn't get to do. Like we have many traditional things we do together. We didn't get to do any of it, but we're so I have so OCD about it that I squeezed it all in those last.
Was
3
it still
days.
fun?
It was actually.
That's good.
It
You didn't
was
suck the
great.
joy
no,
out
she's
of-
like, you
okay.
did it. You saved Christmas. She's like, when are we watching Rudolph? When are we going to Candy Cane Lane? When are we going down to the Grove? When are we going down to, so we made it all happen. And in the end, we were able to save Christmas.
Well, that's good. It wouldn't be an Undergaro Menounos Christmas unless you
we didn't
saved
save it.
I mean, but you had a very busy holiday too. I want to hear about the kind of peel back the curtain of what it's like for her to host and prep New Year's.
Wait, we're already on New Year's.
Well, we
Jeff?
don't need to be yet because I
Please.
can talk about the cruise too if you want.
Yeah, I want to hear about the cruise, Jeff.
As
and,
long as we get back to New Year's. But
All right. So was the cruise after Christmas, though?
It was, yeah,
All right, so
so-
again, you're getting too far
I'm
ahead.
rushing.
So you're Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve,
Open
so
presents
this is
Christmas Eve or not?
no, but this is pretty special.
Okay,
so
good.
Laura's grandfather, Wayne Patton, was an evangelical sort of trailer driving traveling minister. So he is like pictured just as the nicest, kind of most
Interesting.
homegrown Reverend Wayne Patton. He and his wife, they're getting older, I'm going to be honest, but they still have that spirit inside of them, you know?
Right, okay.
And when you hear Pastor Wayne talk about Christmas and sort of, I hope this isn't too much for you, but the religious components of Christmas, he really lights up. So every Christmas Eve, we go to the church service and, hear the choir sing all the Christmas music. And then we come back and he reads the Christmas story and kind of gives his commentary in between. And I think even the most skeptical hater would love the way that he presents the Christmas story.
You can look at the Christmas story in two different ways. One, you can say, I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe any of that happened, blah, blah. Or you could just look at it like what a great story and all the symbolism involved. And what does it really mean to be a king? Do you have to have gold crowns and castles, or is it about something else?
Right,
And
absolutely.
there's many other meanings to it. And on that note, Jeff, I decided to give Little Drummer Boy a second chance.
This is the one with the angry Middle Eastern people, right?
Yeah, the Rankin Bass makes all the claymation shows, and we like so many of our promises, they just blew up in our faces. But we had promised we were going to cover the Rankin Bass shows in depth. But the Little Drummer Boy is the most forgotten. Very popular in the 70s, and then somewhere, I believe in the late 80s, early 90s, they realized it was depicting Arabic people in not such a great way, and so it got buried. Might show up on one of those super religious channels, but more
Pure Flicks.
Yeah, you don't see it much. So I actually had some kind of work to do, and I'm like, I'll throw it on in the background, and I will tell you, a couple of flaws in there, but at the same time, I think we got to give it a second chance.
Okay.
Because I'm not into the religious aspect of Christmas, but the Little Drummer Boy got me in.
Did it? Okay.
It did. Yeah, it did. It was beautiful.
Well, I do love like you said, the symbolism of the Christ story because, he was born in a lowly manger, and does that qualify him any less to be the Christ?
Right.
And I think that's really very interesting, and it can empower other people to understand that their story matters.
For me, I look at it more like this was a poor family that had nothing, but the animals were there to keep him warm, and then, the other poor people came, and you told me that the three kings were not actually kings.
Yeah, they were like underdogs and like shepherds, who made this
Yeah.
huge journey.
Right.
But they were wise men.
Yeah, but
as
they
the
were
Bible says.
wise men. Yeah. So okay. So you got that was your Christmas Eve, and did you open the presents or not?
No
presents.
present opening.
Okay.
We do a pretty small. The Palmer family does just an exchange. So each of us picks one person randomly, and then we do a game around how we're going to do gifts the next day.
Ah, interesting.
So then, if you want to hear about how the Palmer family gift exchange works, each of us, there's probably 10 of us total if you count parents, siblings, husbands, wives. And I got my sister-in-law. And what you do is you start with the youngest person, and they have to guess who had them. And if you guess correctly, you can open the gift. But if not, you move on to the next person. So you're kind of eliminating who's left.
Is it fun, Jeff?
It is actually. This year it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
This year was fun. Interesting.
It's hard, I will say. This family is just such a good-hearted, warm Midwestern family that everything is fun. It's never not going to be fun. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Which is great. It's just so much.
But I don't see your family being any different. I feel like that's the parallel universe.
I think it's pretty similar circumstances, but yeah, it was fun. I got a really wonderful gift from my sister-in-law this year.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice when you do the single gifts. Because you can go all in.
Exactly.
You can get something really good.
Totally. So I got a very generous gift card to Hammer and Nails. Have you heard of this?
No.
This is a LA only sort of men's grooming only salon. So they do like manicures and pedicures, but it's you go in, you sit in a leather chair, they give you headphones, they give you a beer. And because nail hygiene is important, it's nice to go get that done, and they'll shave you too. But it's men only, which is pretty interesting.
And
so
where it's
in WeHo, yeah, right by the Target on La Brea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow, I'm actually in on that.
Kev, you should go with me.
Maybe I will go with you.
It's great. It's really fun.
And so Christmas Day. Now, how are the snacks?
They're prime.
Are you sure? Because Midwestern snacks, when you're in Boston and you're Boston Italian, like the snacks are just out of control, and they are just beyond plentiful. But tell me.
I think we had pretty good snacks. The thing is, we had in-laws come in, and they each brought things. So we did have a really good cheese ball, some really good chocolate-covered pretzels, homemade pumpkin pie, homemade fruitcake with dates from the Holy Land, which was pretty great.
Ooh,
we called that
interesting.
the Holy Land bread. And a really good Christmas morning brunch with biscuits and gravy.
All right, I like the brunch, but wait, there was no dinner?
There was... I think
that's
there was
kind of sacrilege,
I'm not
Jeff.
sure if there was a real... I think it was just kind
Jeff.
of leftovers for dinner. Is that controversial?
I mean, a brunch.
I'm
Jeff.
into a brunch.
Okay, as like a warm up.
Yeah.
But then out comes the turkey and the ham and
None of
the
that.
roast and
None of that in the Palmer home.
a Christmas brunch. Mackenzie,
I don't think I can get on board with that,
you're not.
Jeff.
That's fair enough. That's the East Coast. I get it.
I mean, a Christmas brunch.
Yeah. Because it's casseroles out the. It's a French toast casserole, an egg casserole.
Okay.
Great,
Well-
great, good stuff. Okay, again, a great warm up
Yeah.
for
Yes.
our
So
dinner.
what's
in
your
5 hours.
Christmas dinner? What do you do? Is it Italian? It's
I
pasta.
do. Yes, I'm doing Italian.
Okay.
We do Italian at the house, and yeah, it's just a ton of.
I get that. Just there's not a
Italian
ton
food.
of that Italian energy in the Midwest. I
Okay,
think.
but I'm saying,
But what
yeah,
about
but
meats,
that's
like
what I mean.
roasts
Yeah,
or-
nice roasts and
we
turkeys
had
and
leftover
hams
ribs from the day before from our
and
Christmas Eve.
Mackenzie, leftovers.
Jeff, you're
Yeah.
fired from Christmas
Yeah, well, I
Day.
don't remember. It's not the Graham family. So look, can we at least go over to the Graham family? Like, what goes on
I think
there?
there's a
Is
good
it
Graham
another
family
Is
dinner.
it another brunch?
I'm trying to. Oh, definitely a brunch. Brunch is very Midwest because it lasts for hours. It's like you eat till 3
Yeah,
and
but
then
it's-
there's still
but-
snacks
okay, I
out.
get it, but like,
You're not really hungry. Because what time do you guys eat dinner?
oh, I don't even. We don't have anything official since we came here. Nothing's official.
Yeah.
We've had orphan dinners for people.
Right.
We're beyond all that.
I feel like by the time you've opened presents, you've snacked, and you've had that huge bunch with cinnamon rolls, biscuits and gravy, casserole, bacon, eggs. You're sort of not. You don't want to. You kind of graze. And then everyone's kind of doing their own thing.
For
People
us,
are napping.
it used to be. I remember as a kid, right? No, you'd eat like mules,
Yeah.
then the naps, then sandwiches started.
Sandwiches. Okay.
We're making, ham sandwiches or,
So
whatever.
that's the big dinner is ham sandwiches. I had high
no,
expectations.
No. The
Kev.
dinner is the dinner. It's
Okay.
the sit down, is the roast and the ham and the this and the that.
Got it, okay.
Then everyone passes out,
Okay.
and then you're snacking on all that stuff.
I have a question.
And desserts come out. Yes, dear.
Yes.
So, what time do you guys wake up? Because even though all of us kids in my family are grown up, now we still wake up at 6:30 in the morning to open presents.
The thing is, Laura and I are always on West Coast time, so we never really fully adjust. So we wake up a little later, or are we waking up earlier? We wake up early,
Early.
but I feel like we got started around 9:30.
Kenzie, I want to hear about you guys.
Me
'cause
too.
I like that. The fact that you guys, the team's still up early.
Oh, we even, for the longest time, up until I think like a year ago, all of us kids would sleep at my parents'.
That's amazing.
And we'd all wake up and we wouldn't be able to look at the tree. And we'd all gather in one of the rooms and be like, oh, like, did you guys look? And the whole thing. But as to the food, I mean, we'd wake up so early, so we'd have quiches and like things,
yes.
to eat in the morning.
Right.
And then we would have like a 4 or 5 o'clock big dinner.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
And
See,
then,
that's
yeah.
what I'm on board for. So I really need to talk to Laura's family.
Yeah, you can go.
You can have your brunch, but then come on at like 5, like we have to sit down. Everyone
Yeah.
sit down. Anyway, Mackenzie, I love the fact that why did it get broken up this year? Because you're married now?
No, my sister is just kind of,
Which one, older or younger?
yeah, the older one.
The older-
She gives us issues now
Even though she
in
has
lots of ways.
I know, but even though she has a baby, that would make it even more fun.
You would think, wouldn't you? One normal person would think.
Well, see, Jeff, these are the things that.
This is sounding more East Coast now.
Yeah, you're right. This is our families. Yeah, this is unfortunately.
We just
how it
bury
goes.
all the feelings and grin and bear it. And
Yes.
It's all passive aggressive in the Midwest. So we had moments, but no one would ever know. Or you would really smell it as an outsider.
We have neighbors who had a nice kind of a little cocktail party Christmas Eve day.
Fun.
It was really nice.
So cool.
We took Maria's parents there, and then we went to friends.
Is this the Call of
that
Duty
night-
guys, the cocktail party? We met them.
No,
okay.
they're great though.
They
No,
were
they're
fun.
Great.
Yeah,
they're
they
very
were
fun.
very
Yeah.
sweet to Laura.
No, the Illuminati neighbors they call them. There's a
Oh, the
bunch of them in that
Illuminati,
neighborhood
yes.
that Maria's friends with. They're all very nice people, and I think and then Christmas Day we were just so tired that it was not so official.
Okay.
It literally was the mom, dad, Maria, and I, and I think her makeup artist, and we ended up. Maria and I went and got them all a lot of presents because we wanted them to feel good. So that was fun to see them open presents. And then I hadn't got Maria a Christmas present maybe in 20 years.
What'd
and this
you
was the
get?
first year.
What'd you get?
I bought her a Peloton.
I don't even know what that is.
Me either.
It's okay, you guys. She's obsessed with it. I nailed it. It's a big exercise treadmill with a giant screen on it that's interactive.
Oh, cool.
So you basically have a trainer, your own personal trainer.
Oh, I think I've seen
It's
commercials
really
for this.
amazing. It's like, and yeah, it's a really great get. And,
That's great.
And she was so happy and so thrilled. But it made it so I had to do more heavy work on we have a gym, so I had to do some work there and whatever. But it was just nice. It was nice to see them all open presents. And then we just I think we ate a lot, and then we just watched TV. I'm pretty sure we probably, if I know Maria and I, we probably stumbled onto some good content.
Yeah.
But I did watch. We did get in It's a Wonderful Life with a new. We always break in a new young couple. So a guy by the name of Stanaj, who's actually a little bit of a pop star, and his girlfriend. They're dear friends of ours. They hadn't seen it. As soon as they saw it, they went home, and the next night made their families watch it.
I love that.
So it was amazing, and we watched a lot of our specials together, and it was nice. But for us, we had to get on a plane the next day to go prep for all our work for New Year's Eve. So
Right.
I really haven't stopped working, even though you would think these 2 weeks. But the difference is I've been working and kind of no one else has around me in the business. So today's like the first day that now I'm getting inundated. Everyone's hitting me. Like,
Oh, yeah, all the
meeting,
emails.
meeting. But back to Christmas, I will tell you one nice Christmas story that took place. It was fun for me this year because I spent more time giving to people you wouldn't necessarily give to, but that make my days better. Like the people at the
Elaborate.
coffee shop.
Oh, right.
Like my mechanic, the people who just they just go that little extra mile to make me happier. So that was fun. But I was driving Christmas Eve day or the day before Christmas Eve. I drove by a guy that was pushing his car. And so I drove by and
Where was this?
This was somewhere in the valley.
Okay.
And I drove by and I just said to myself, that voice just popped up oh yeah, just drive by, Kevin, just go ahead, go on with your day because you're so important. And I'm like, this poor guy, and I'm like, but I have to get to my next thing. Maria's gonna be mad I'm late. And I'm like, okay. So then I had realized he was out of gas. And so I went to a gas station and I'm in my new car. So I'm like, I don't want to spill gas in my car. So how do I figure this out? So the gas station, thank God, had a small gas can.
Yeah.
I filled it and, raced back and found him he'd only made it I don't know, another 50 feet. He's trying to push the car alone. And I just waved the bucket to him and I got out of the car and he's like, what are you doing? I said, I got you gas. I said, we're good. I said, is you sure it's just gas? He goes, yeah, that's all it is. He's like, and we filled it and started. And he's like, I can't believe you're doing this for me. And this was kind of sad. He's like, I can't believe you're doing this for me because no one ever does stuff like this for me. And he was like, but I would do this for somebody. I'm like, well, that's why. I was like, my wife tells me when I'm out saving dogs, she always told me, if you see dogs that are loose and stray, remember, someday it's going to be our dogs.
Yeah.
And so now I'm always trying to do that for every dog I see. And I said, but because you do it for other people, that's why. Of course someone was going to do it for you. And yeah, it was just nice. And it was interesting because when he was telling me his story, it was just one of those things where I thought I had gas and he's like, and I have to get to this next thing. He was going to save Christmas.
Wow.
And this would have stopped him from saving Christmas. So anyway.
I love that.
And that just made me feel good. It was definitely for me. I felt it made me feel really nice. And
It's for both of you, though.
And then when I added it all up, I was like, okay, I'm going to, again, a lot of times even work-wise here, Jeff, I'm always breaking things down to seconds and dollars.
Right.
To really make sense of it all. But when I added up the amount of time to get the gas and the amount of money, it was, ended up being 11 minutes off of my time and exactly $16.50.
Wow.
So you bought the little gas can was I don't know $8-10 and then it only took a couple of gallons of gas.
Gallons, right?
And I'm like, and so I always loved that line in the 1951 Scrooge, where He's like, and yet what does it cost you in your mere mortal money, for someone's happiness? So like, really, like, do you really think that losing that $16.50 in 11 minutes really, really took a ding out of me?
Of course not.
And again, I get it where if you are poor and impoverished and you've got, it's the last 20 you have in your wallet, and I'm not advocating for that, and I've been there before, so I understand that. But I'm saying for a middle-class person, you're okay. You'd be okay.
I had something
without
as
that.
simple the other day. Someone was, pandering me in the grocery store. I think this was maybe on the 26th. He wanted to buy pens for his daughter to do her homework. And that's such a no-brainer. I was
Did you buy the pens or give him the money?
I actually made him. How did I do this?
As long as you see him buy the pens,
I
that's
did.
okay.
Yeah. I think
That's okay.
he came in line with me. We were in line together, so I made sure he got the pens. But
And he was being genuine.
yeah, it seemed like it. I mean, why else would he want pens?
I mean, he might just be the type of person that's like, I just don't feel like spending money on pens, and I'm gonna
Maybe.
hit
I hope not.
I'm gonna hit this sucker. Well, unfortunately, that's L.A.
Yeah.
and that's also my Boston charges coming
Right.
up. But we have so many con artists out here, and that's where I struggle.
I was just gonna say, if I can jump in, I know it's
Please.
a Christmas podcast and we're trying to keep things light and happy, but the crime junkie in me is like, I don't stop for anybody.
Yeah.
I literally, that's how they trick you. There's this serial
Right.
killer that put a big branch in the middle of the road, and when somebody got out to save the day and move it, that's when they strike. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're crazy now. I mean, like,
But by the way, no, Mackenzie, listen.
Jingle bells.
No, I will say a little plug here for Mackenzie
Yes.
is going to be starting the we have a pop crime channel we're launching.
Woo!
And we're going to be doing a true crime after show.
You know
That
who will
Mac-
subscribe to that?
Who?
And my wife is the
Well-
biggest crime junkie fan.
Well,
love it.
This is what Mackenzie is.
That's
That's what she
great.
does. And no, you're right. You're right, Mackenzie. And thank you for saying that. I'm of means, so I'm of the time and financial means to help the person. I'm also of the physical means. Mm-hmm. I would have dropped him in a second.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like so.
So you're aware of
Yes,
the situation.
I agree. I think you're right. I'm glad you said that because no, we really don't need, some,
Crazy.
female, or some person who's not physically as strong to be attacked. Yeah, because it is out there, and I think that's what's it's sad because you want to help more. I know a lot of females who want to help more, but unfortunately, we dumb guys take it as like you're coming on to us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's into me. Like,
Cool.
No, yeah, poor Mackenzie had a bad. She flew out here like to just as part of her New Year's. She's out here with us for a few weeks. She works for us on our East Coast, in our East Coast studios. But she ended up having a crime junkie moment
Uh-oh.
on the plane, and yeah, she was all rattled and sad.
You all right?
Oh yeah, it was interesting.
Anyway, we'll tease it because you'll talk about it on your True Crime After
Man,
Show
I'm in.
podcast.
Yes.
I'm subscribed. What's the show called? What's it?
Crime Junkie After Show.
Perfect.
Crime Junkie After Show.
I am very confident that you'll have many
By the way,
listeners.
it's
One of
not
them will
called
be
True
Laura.
Crime. It's called Crime Junkie. Crime
No, but
name
it
of the
is
show.
the true crime category, so that's very correct.
Gotcha.
Crime Junkie's the name of the show.
And
When
we-
you said that,
and
I
here
knew
at
right away.
AfterBuzz, we coined the phrase "pop crime."
I love that.
Pop crime, love it.
Can we talk, you guys? So we want to continue this show,
Mm-hmm.
and I know time is of the essence, but the 6 months of Christmas. I mean, do we go back to Christmas starts in August? Do we just call this show the Christmas 24/7? Like,
Here's what I will do, Kev.
what do we do?
I want more Christmas mythology. I want more lore, more stories of Christmas towns, because that's the intersection. When you're not immediately in the season, history is something that's always relevant. We can be talking about some of these crazy Christmas history stories that I feel like drove the beginning of the show, maybe monthly.
Christmas tree.
Christmas tree. Christmas tree. Totally. I mean, like, I will say one of my favorite episodes we've done was Santa Claus, Arizona.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
And Kev, there's so many more of those.
I don't know. Listen, of
hidden gems.
our 11 fans, Jeff, we
12.
have to 12. Thank
Yeah.
you. Of our 12 fans, now that we have Mackenzie, we'll have to throw it out there.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Like, what should we be doing? Should we just? I mean, yeah, this is a little bit of a. We're going to be heading into a down period, guys.
I know.
We're going to be, which we're going to help you through. I think our next few episodes is going to be kind of dealing with this post. This is still the high. Well, this is our after show for Christmas, technically.
Right.
And then it's gonna get ugly out there, Jeff.
I know. It's already creeping in, I gotta say. I have a little bit of those post-holiday blues.
It's gonna well for you, Jeff. You switch it out for Oscars
It's true.
That will get you
Globes were yesterday.
right. So
They were
that's going to
good.
get, for me, it'll be a little Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's going to keep, and it's going to put myself into my work. I guess maybe next week, let's talk about how we're going to deal with the Blues as we continue on, with this.
It's a good idea.
And then, for us, so you went to Christmas cruise and we went to do something with the WWE and then obviously New Year's Eve. But tell me about the Christmas cruise.
Kev, the cruise was excellent. We were cruising Royal Caribbean, which was interesting for me because I used to be an employee of Royal Caribbean, so I was on the other side.
How did you even know this, Jeff? Who planned this? Your wife, you, or
my
family?
Father-in-law was like, "We're going on a Christmas
he
cruise."
took everybody.
Yeah, he did. Well,
he's the best.
He's the best. Yeah, you're not going to make him pay for everything, so we each, paid a little bit of our way, but he was very generous.
Right.
Couple interesting conundrums we faced. We ended up going for the drink package, which felt like the right move.
The
I know.
drink package.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the...
So I'll give you 3 highlights from the cruise. One was the drink package was definitely the right decision because you're able to dole out drinks to the family. So Laura's younger sister Liz and her husband Brock, they were wary about the drink package. They're both in school right now. Funds are a little tight. So we would slip drinks for them every now and again.
Okay,
which was
so
really
you
nice.
guys got the drink
We
package.
did.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Which was a fun way to feel a little bit like Santa on the cruise, giving out drinks here and there.
Okay, so be wary. Where's the trap door?
Well, just because you got to make sure you're getting your money's worth. It's about 7 drinks a day. But when you're doling out drinks, it actually adds up. That sounds like a lot of drinks, but over a 12-hour day.
Oh, wait. So in the package, you're allowed only 7?
No, it's unlimited.
Unlimited,
But
okay.
if we needed to have 7 a day
To hit
our goals.
Okay, so if it's you and your 7 each?
7 each.
Oh, boy. 14 drinks.
14 drinks across.
So you guys would be good for 3 or 4 each.
Yes.
But then that's 10 drinks. You got to give out 10 drinks.
Yeah, probably realistically, if you have a mimosa, and it's the Starbucks too, so we would do our specialty coffee in the morning.
Oh, wait, that's good. No,
Yeah.
because there's 1 or 2 of those a day.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, and
All
then,
right.
you have 1 drink at the show, 1 drink at dinner. That's already 3 with the Starbucks. During the afternoon, you might have 1 or 2 out on the pool
did
deck.
you hit the quota or not?
Oh, for sure. We definitely hit the quota.
So then there was
No hesitation. It was definitely the right
so
call.
that was the right call.
Second amazing story, Kev.
Okay.
On New Year's Eve, we're hanging out in the piano bar, and the pianist doesn't show up. He doesn't come, and there's a bunch of people eagerly waiting for someone to do the piano bar. And Bill, my father-in-law, looks at me and says, "You can do that, right?"
Jeff Scam, no way. Yeah,
So-
Jeff, by the way, Mackenzie, I don't know if you know this, Jeff's a former cruise singer.
I am.
Stop it.
So on New Year's
Stop
Eve,
it.
the pianist had gotten sick.
Mackenzie.
I'm obsessed.
Okay, so Mackenzie, Mackenzie, you would date Jeff. Mackenzie dates a guy who was married to a guy that looks like a supermodel.
Right.
If there was a lumberjack ad for Gap, it would be, or LL Bean, it would be
That's
Dan.
nice.
But would if there was no Dan, would Jeff the cruise singer get any?
Hell yeah. Are
Would
you
it get-
kidding me?
would-
I'd bring all my girls. I'd be like, look, this is Jeff. This is the pianist.
I was
So
also
you'd
in
be
very
in-
good shape during that
so
time
you'd
too.
be
'Cause all I
into
was doing
it?
was lifting.
Jeff, you always look good.
That's
Yeah,
very
Jeff, you
nice.
look amazing.
Well, it's
All right, so Jeff, go back.
okay.
to
So
the-
there's probably at this point 30 people waiting for someone to play. So I know if I'm going to get up there and play, I've got to come out swinging with a perfect #1 song. So I come out. I play "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey as my first song.
Jeff, this is amazing. And you're playing the piano?
And singing, yeah, and the whole bar is singing along.
Jeff.
And all of a sudden the tips start coming in.
No way.
People are throwing us
Stop
tips.
it.
Yeah, I've got video. I should have queued it up.
How much did you make?
Probably between $50 and $70 on
That's
the first
great.
night. It was
Wait, on the first night. Wait,
yeah.
so were you called back?
Well, everyone wanted me to come back.
What happened to the real person?
I think they were either sick. The interesting thing is the captain ended up coming to thank me. But I think him and the revenue guy were sort of alluding that there might have been some contract issues with their actual pianist. So I think there was drama behind the scenes. But got to meet the captain, shake his hand. I was like, I actually used to work for Royal Caribbean.
yeah,
so.
you of course you had one in.
Yeah, so that was probably the highlight. It's pretty fun.
Jeff,
I'll show you some videos. It was
That
pretty
is
fun.
outstanding.
That's
It was
so
really
cool.
fun, yeah. So that was, and you get to meet people. My favorite thing about performing, I don't love the attention as much as I love the interaction part of it. So
Right.
I got to meet some other families, and for them to come back on night 2, that's the really fun part of it, is making people happy.
Can you
So-
sing, Jeff?
Yeah, I can.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeff, like I said, you're never going to get away from me. Jeff, there's a musical project that just came my way, and I didn't know that you played. I know you sang.
I don't know if you knew this, Kev. I produced our whole program, so I actually can orchestrate and do things for big bands in it. You know,
Jeff,
no notation
Let's
and
keep
everything.
this conversation going.
Absolutely. It's the thing I miss the most. And you know, it's funny. I was talking about this with Laura, and gun to my head, it's probably the thing that comes most easily to me. And I don't always broadcast that. It makes me wonder if I should be doing something more directly in music, because that was the thing.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really what's in your heart. Because here's the thing: there's so many things that we're good at. We have gifts, but that's the. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's what we are supposed to do or do more of.
Just because,
you know what I mean, yeah, no, and yeah. So, and then there's things that we don't love doing, but we happen to be very good at.
Right.
And, you know, we don't always get to choose. I think that's one of the things I've learned is like with, and I guess next week we'll talk hangover and we should talk New Year's goals. 'Cause that's a big, that kind of falls into that
Totally.
whole of what should I do?
Right.
Should I be doing what I love? There's a lot. So
I have a slang word for hangover if you want to know it.
What's
for next
that, babe?
week. It's actually called a bangover because it's a bitch hangover.
nice.
What does that mean?
It's like you're just like kind of like a little bitch for having a hangover. So
I love it.
you have a bangover.
All right, so
Hangover.
Mackenzie, did you guys that week? Did you go look at lights? Did you down in Connecticut? Are there places where you can go that have all the?
Yes, there's great like estates, you know, just like you can drive through and all those big houses do the crazy lights.
Did you do it? Did you guys do it?
Yeah, we did. It was so fun. And we didn't put any Christmas lights up this year, though. That was what was disappointing about our house. Because on our road, we live on a cul-de-sac, and there's all the houses do fun things, but we just were
And you
dark
guys were the ones who didn't.
I know.
Nice.
We were
did.
busy.
There's a candy cane lane out here. We did go
Fun.
to it, and yeah, it was nice. You know, I don't want to be critical. It wasn't so, you know, whereas between what you see on Instagram and on YouTube and some of these TV specials about Christmas lights, it's not so amazing, but for little kids, it's great.
Yeah, that's the one thing about working in the industry, Kev, is sometimes it's hard to enter into a production without the glasses
spoiled.
on. We're spoiled.
We're spoiled.
So you sometimes take the magic out of those moments a little bit because you're thinking, how would I produce this differently? Where are the scenes here?
Right.
Yeah.
Jeff, what did you do for New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, we were on the ship. And so we did the piano
nice.
bar for a while. I entertained. And then I will say, the Royal Caribbean Majesty of the Seas, a bit of a disappointing New Year's compared to the Celebrity Summit, which is where I had worked.
What do you mean, those two different ships?
Two different ships. The Celebrity Summit, because Celebrity and Royal Caribbean are both under the umbrella of Royal. Celebrity is a little bit more of the upscale line.
Right.
Royal's more family-driven. But for a family-driven New Year's Eve, they didn't really deliver. And the captain and the revenue guy wanted to meet with me on the last day of the cruise to pick my brain about the programming. And I was honest. I said, I think we had a great cruise. I'm not sure you delivered on New Year's Eve. And they agreed and gave them some suggestions and Kaizen.
Jeff, I've never been on a cruise ever, but I
Yeah.
also have never been on like a vacation during the holidays. Is that something you would totally recommend to people?
Yeah, you have to adjust your mindset if you're going to go. I will say normally cruising for New Year's Eve is really fun. And that's why I think I was a bit disappointed. I don't feel like the Majesty delivered because the fun thing about a ship is you're not driving. So you can kind of hop from party to party and bar to bar. And normally there's a big outside. They do the ball drop on the pool deck and they're passing around champagne and you can watch the ball drop. You know, all the music is playing, but they didn't really deliver on that this year. But normally a cruise is really fun.
Is there anyone, do they have cruises that run on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Yeah.
They do.
We were doing a Christmas.
And is it mostly Jews?
No, it was a lot of families, a lot of older families. I will say we put on a really fun Christmas show. So that's the fun thing.
I get it. Like the older families, like kids are grown up.
Exactly.
We're past like Santa Claus and the tree. And
Right,
Let's
kids.
all go on a trip together.
And that was, we had every music act and all the production singers do a big Christmas show, which is pretty fun. It's kind of a throwback
Right.
So I will say our Christmas show when I used to work on ships was pretty cool.
Okay.
So you just have to program it the right way. but-
Mackenzie, what'd you do for New Year's Eve?
I actually stayed at home. My parents came over. We ordered Chinese and watched Step Brothers, and then I ended up falling asleep at 10 p.m.
Did you guys turn on Fox?
Yes, we did. We watched Maria, but I had a migraine, so I fell asleep. So no fun story
Sounds like
there.
a bangover to me. But.
Yes, but But I will say that I know a lot of kids around where I'm from. Everybody goes to Disney either the week before Christmas or the week a couple weeks before, because Disney is like crazy.
You're
Christmas
right. Disney
fun.
Christmas is amazing.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah, Maria used to host the Disney Parade on ABC.
Oh yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. In fact, the only reason I miss her doing it was that. Like going to do it just always got us in the spirit. It was
Totally.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously we were busy. We had our hands full. It wasn't cold by East Coast standards, but to now me as an LA person, it was freezing. But it really was. It wasn't like it was in past years. Steve Harvey was great. Gronk was great.
He was.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Maria, like just seeing her out there and do what she does.
She looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I went back the next day when I woke up, and I looked at everything, and she just blew it out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
What are some behind the scenes things, Kev, that our listeners might not know, or even I might not know, about what it takes to produce a New Year's show and to host a New Year's show?
Well, it's live, so that's always tricky.
Yep.
You can only predict so much. Maria is very involved. She's one of those hosts that loves to produce, so she's always throwing ideas and coming up with solutions. And she loves people. I think that's the thing with Gronk, too. He loves people, and people love him. So that's why I think he's a good bet to do it with, and I think in the future he'll get even better at it. Yeah, and it's just the energy is so good in Times Square, and I know like a lot of people go, "Oh my God, how could you stand there all those hours and wear diapers and all that stuff?" And I get that part of it, but at the same time, when you're there, there's such a magic. There's just a really nice energy. Now, granted, you almost wish that energy could convey all year long, and it doesn't. But at least that night, there's just so much hope. It's just a nice, and when you feel all of that around you, I don't know, it's a nice feeling.
Joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And positivity and hope. And so, so I think it's behind the scenes, like, I don't know, a lot of production stuff, like meetings and stuff. But every year they're trusting more and more in Maria.
It's great.
That she knows what she's doing and that she knows producing. And so, she, and Maria was the one who reached out to the WWE and brought them in. And that was a nice cross-promotional venture.
Totally.
So
especially now that SmackDown
is on Fox. So that's why we were in Detroit before, because Maria announced one of the matches. And it's always wonderful to see everyone from WWE, Maria and I. I feel like we're almost like an aunt and uncle now to all the young wrestlers, because we can help them with their careers outside of wrestling. And so, yeah, without being too specific, just I made a lot of good friends. So did Maria. And then, definitely at the end, like it was that we had to leave that morning, and we were just, we were tired and exhausted, and came back. And, my mother-in-law, who is like my mother, she's been, her cancer's been very troubling. But, I always say, like, I only know how to attack a problem. I don't know how to sit with one, so we, I reorganized some stuff there, and just, we think we got some new help to come to help with Mom. And, and anyway, so we ended up, it was usually this is the time of year we get together, and Maria and I take our breaks to kind of binge watch and shows, and then also kind of plan what our New Year is going to be. And really weren't able to do that this time. And I don't know, maybe it's a sign of the times. Maybe we're going to now, if we want to have children and you want to have children, Jeff, maybe this is what we're looking at now, where it's no more. It's
the new reality.
Right. It's no more. It's adulting.
Yes.
It's right, Mackenzie, you don't have kids, but you've been literally babysitting and running daycare since you were 13.
Yes.
Right. So I think, like, does it change the Christmas week? Right. Like what, maybe like it's no longer about you, right? It's about.
No, because now your joy is even greater now, because you get to see these kids just experience it. So now it's like a totally different ball game.
You know what, Kev? I don't mean to interrupt, Mackenzie, but as a producer, I think you'll love being a parent, because think about the opportunity to create the magical Christmas.
Oh yeah, I know,
do you know what
right?
I mean? Like you won't mind the sacrifices, because they're huge when you're a parent.
Yeah.
The holiday's no longer about you, but think about how excited you'll be to take every step. It's not. That's why a lot of times producers can make great parents as long as they're not too.
I think Maria will do all that stuff.
I think you.
I don't know, Jeff.
It's in you though. Because think about you with the AfterBuzz kids. Though.
I am, but we're moving the needle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's something. If it was something practical, I'm not really good for like just like light and loose. I am like for like no like if you notice when I have a party, we throw a really big party. It's crazy, but I don't do every weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
It will be fine because you're gonna have no choice, and you're gonna be so happy with these little things. And
listen. It's not about us, you guys. This is about Christmas, and this. Can we discuss? This was the 2 weeks of Christmas because this was the Wednesday Christmas, and I'm going to tell you, I always loved every 7 years the Wednesday Christmas, or 8 years. I don't know because the leap year affected, but I always love the Wednesday Christmas. But this year, I'm going to tell you something. I noticed something different. The Wednesday Christmas made it so many people I knew had to work the Mondays and Tuesdays and the Thursdays and Fridays.
My buddy Brock, my brother-in-law, had a couple in-between days, but that's most other industries. That's the crazy thing. It's the one huge gift we get in entertainment is I think most other industries, they're working around Christmas.
So is it better? Is the Thursday Christmas the sweet spot?
Maybe. This almost sounds like a holiday debate.
I have some friends that are accountants, and every Christmas is bad for them because that's when the year, like, that's when the time is just crazy.
Beside the accountants.
Well, even Kev,
the Thursday might be the one.
Maybe it's the Thursday.
Well, a Thursday or Tuesday might get you everything.
I'd have to see it laid out. I'd have to see it on a calendar.
Yeah.
I'm not the most visual.
I do, but I'm thinking Wednesday I used to think was perfect because we would get, and no, I mean, for me anyway, every time I looked, there was never any time to.
This year is on a Friday.
This year's a Friday. Ooh, is
Why
that good
did we
or
jump?
bad?
How could we? Okay, guys, help me with math. How did we jump from a Wednesday to a Friday?
I'm not the one.
The
to
leap
ask.
year this year.
Scam year.
Scam year.
Yep.
Wait, so we didn't even get to enjoy the
Thursday.
Wednesday, you guys. Like
know.
what? So Friday, that's not good.
What'll that look like? We'll work
And
Monday,
then the
Tuesday.
worst. Well, at least we can agree on one thing. The worst is the Saturday,
Yeah.
Christmas, right? The Saturday
Christmas
New Year,
Eve.
because you're like.
We get Friday off for Christmas Eve. It's great.
That's like.
So I fly on Christmas Eve?
No, every Mr. Scrooge and
I know.
Mr. Potter is excited over the Saturday Christmas. Yeah, because you're getting your one. You're only getting a day off.
We're taking a vacation, but you guys can just work till Thursday and then enjoy that Friday.
Yeah.
Take that Friday, enjoy it.
Yeah.
What? We'll have to see how it works out. It's going to be good this year.
I
can
didn't know.
already feel
Well,
it.
I'm already depressed. I was depressed enough that today's the last day of the Advent calendar. And now, Mackenzie, why'd you have to tell me about it's Friday?
It's not as bad as Saturday.
You're right. But, man, that means in 2 years it's going to be... guys, we're like 4 years away from an awesome Christmas. This is not good.
Here's what we'll do, Kev, though. We're going to do monthly shows at least for 6 months.
Okay. We're going
And that'll
to...
extend.
It may not be called the 6 months of Christmas. We have to do some due diligence. Jeff, would you say that in wrapping up our year in Christmas, would you say our first year was a total fail, a colossal fail, or just a fail?
I don't know if it's any of those, Kev. I'd say it was an experimental year one.
Okay.
I mean, it's the first year of a network, I mean, we are producing... Now we have 10 channels, this being one of them. It wouldn't be fair or reasonable for us to pump every bit of bandwidth and energy into this network. Even though that's our dream, Kev, we both have to be practical.
Yeah, we have to be practical.
We produced 50 to 60 shows on this network.
Did we really?
Yeah, because there was multiple networks running.
You know what the one that does well is the Hallmark ones.
Yeah, they're picking up now. And those are evergreen, Kev, because they re-air those every year. It's too soon to evaluate how our year one was.
I'm going to tell you just a little inside Christmas broadcasting people is we have a couple of Scrooges who run this place, and we're just very, very down on the Christmas 24/7 channel.
Well, I don't know if we've quite unlocked exactly how to produce the channel yet, but you have to get in there and get your feet wet before you can make these choices.
Kenzie, would you listen to us?
What? About what? I don't know. I think it's great. You guys
would
are
listen
just...
to our show?
Yes. I thought you meant right now. I'm like, yeah, I hear you guys.
What?
I'm like, I hear
All
you
right.
guys talking about this and
All
that,
right.
but it's great.
And so
It's
next
Christmas.
year, or whenever the time hits, around July or August or September, you'll do your Christmas, very
Showings.
2000s Christmas.
Yes.
All right.
Great.
All right, let's
Saddle up the sleigh.
saddle up the sleigh, you guys.
It's getting late.
Yeah.
I've got
Nice
these
job,
letters
Mackenzie.
to
She's on top of that one. Look at that.
And you better be getting home too. And
Oh,
remember, behave yourselves.
yes. Well, Jeff. Wow, it's January 6th. It's the end. It's the official end of Christmas.
Sure is.
For the mainstream, but for we few, we will remain up in the North Pole. We will be making our presence, right?
And we have a ton of other great content on the networks too. If you're a fan of
do?
what we do, I mean, on our sister networks, right?
Yes, channels.
Those matter too, Kev. The other
Yes.
channels.
Yeah, no, we do. No, certainly we do.
we
But I'm
have-
talking Christmas now, Jeff.
I know we're talking Christmas still, but for me, it's personally like Christmas because a big show premieres tonight,
What's that?
The Bachelor.
Oh, so Jeff does Bachelor News. You guys make
do.
sure you check it out, please. Bachelor News Daily here at AfterBuzz. Plus, he hosts our Bachelor After Show. You're right, Jeff. I actually, Jeff, I think that might help me. These are some things we'll have to go over next week. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? What is the subtext to the heroine of Christmas? What is the drug that of choice we can keep this going? You know?
Bachelor for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, next week, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the other thing I'm very aware of. I have an OCD issue of is when does Christmas music stop? So it was 2 days after I noticed they made it 2 or 3 days after on the LA radio station. They pulled the plug on the Christmas music. I'm seeing more and more lights come down. But by next week, can we be checking, Jeff, to see who still has lights up?
Yeah.
I think it's very important to see the people that are trying to keep the torch going longer. My stuff's down. Did you take your stuff down, Jeff?
We did. But we actually, this is bad. We did it before we left.
Oh, Jeff.
I know.
We'll edit that out. Really, Jeff?
I mean, day of.
He
Because
doesn't even have a Christmas dinner. What do you expect?
You're right. Thank
I
you,
know, because our
Mackenzie.
tree, we couldn't leave our tree in our apartment. We had to.
Understood.
Yeah,
Understood.
we
I'm
weren't
gonna
home.
get you, Uncle Kev's getting you a fake one next year.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. So next week we'll be back. We're gonna go over New Year's resolutions. We're gonna go over Christmas hangovers. Right?
Hangover, yeah.
The bangover.
Yes.
Okay. Mackenzie, where do we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Mackenzie Fayne.
Nice.
Y'all can find me on Twitter at Jeffrey C. Graham or Instagram at Jeffrey Crane Graham. Tune in tonight. It's very likely some of our listeners are Bachelor fans. I will say, someone who listens to all the AfterBuzz Bachelor after shows, ours is the best. And I'm not just saying
No, it
that.
really is.
It really is.
Really
So
is.
Check that out. That's going to be
You
tonight
know,
at 8 p.m.
you know
on
how
our main
you
channel.
know is if you type in Bachelor After Show, guess what show comes up first?
Comes up first.
That's Jeff Graham's, not ABC's, not
No.
any of the other networks.
And Reddit is always talking about our show. So
Holla
Check that out, yeah.
for $1. You guys, thank you to our 14 fans, how many we've counted. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of this and sharing in this. And we'll keep it going. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
see you next
Right.
week.
Chief Elf Officers Keven Undergaro and Maria Menounos, Graham, and the entire The Christmas 24/7 channel, we would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's The Christmas 24/7 channel. If you have questions or comments, email us at thechristmas247@gmail.com. Until next time, do your best to give, forgive, and be merry. Ho, 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 ho.